Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the first official live stream of Tommy Rat's New York Hardcore Rants and the Stories, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Sorry for the delay. I know I said 7 o'clock. Yeah, it should have been 7 o'clock when I said so, but unfortunately, YouTube Studio was acting up, and I had to get some things straightened out so that I could start broadcasting. I want to give shout out to Tom Curran, who's in the chat. Shout out to Tom. Okay, so shout out to New York City Majestic. All right, first off, I try to do this like every week. You know, basically my channel's gone bigger than it has in the past before, and I want to make the most of it. Okay, so basically the topic of this episode I want to do, I know I did one in the beginning I first started, but I want to talk about the bad brains. Okay? Because that original video had a lot of views, and I want to do like how should I say, a revised version of what I did. So that's the idea. That's the whole plan for today. Okay. So anybody come in the chat, let me know where you're coming from. I'll be more than happy to give you a shout out. Now when I first heard of Bad Brains, I was a Ramones fan at the time, and they had a song called Bad Brain, and I used to see ads for them in the local papers for the clubs, like Max's, CBGB's. I don't know where else they play. I'm not sure where else they played, but I know One Under, Bonnie Talkhouse. Yeah, that place was legendary in my history. Yeah, I think they. But anyway, I mean, I remember I know they came from DC, and they had the 7-inch Pay to Come. A friend of mine named Joe, who used to run in Brooklyn, had the first pressing of the 7-inch. And I look on the cover there. They're on the faces are on the cover, like looking like punk rockers, like 1977 type of punk rockers. And it was a 2-song record with Pay to Come and a melodic song, Stay Close to Me, which I understand that they had to sell the rights to, so they could. I think because they. I don't know. It's a lot of different reasons. I heard they sold the rights to somebody in case they get somebody else records it, becomes a hit, but they don't get no royalties from it. But I'm not really going to go into and do in depth because so that I talk about something and it's the wrong type of information. But see, I'm doing this on the fly here. I'm doing this on the fly, just like hold myself accountable for the lateness thing. Well, I didn't want to be late. I was ready to get this started, but then YouTube started acting up and I couldn't go live. I had to do some resettings in OBS. Now, the very first time I saw the Bad Brains, they were opening up for Black Flag at Irving Plaza, and there was a band from I think from the West Coast, UXA. They had one album out. They were a very good band. They were very good. D Detroit singing for them. Late D Detroit, rest in peace. Yeah. Okay. But when I first saw them, they were like full out Rasta. They were full out Rasta. The minute that first song hit, everybody in that crowd went crazy. Moshing, before it was called moshing, slam dancing, stage diving. And this is like my first time seeing them. You know, the energy I saw from HR inspired me to become a singer. Yeah, might not have his ability to do somersaults even back then. But I mean, I mean, not everybody could do them. I heard Meatloaf used to do them, and he was like he was like overweight. He was overweight. I don't know how many pounds he weighed, but I'm not going there. So like every three songs the Bad Brains played that night was like a hardcore punk song. Well, we didn't know what hardcore was back then. All we know is that like it's just loud, fast punk rock. That's what we defined it as. And the word hardcore, came from a DOA album, Hardcore '81, and that was where. And then I used to see DC Hardcore on a lot of the Discord ads, flyers, T-shirts that they had. And somebody told me that the word hardcore originally came from the Plasmatics. Okay, I go with that. Now every 4 songs. Okay, now getting back into that. Every 3 songs that the Bad Brains did, they played a 15-song set. Every 3 songs, they went to a reggae song. That was unexpected, but everybody digged it. Everybody that was there digged it. Nobody knocked it. But I just never seen so much energy lit up in a room like that till they played. Never saw so much energy. And then you hear like all these songs that were never on their 7-inch, which I thought were way better than what was on the record. Shit was cool. They became my favorite band at that time, and my motivation to take up singing instead of playing guitar, which I sucked at. I mean, I could write songs with a guitar, but I'm not I couldn't play on stage. I couldn't be on stage playing a guitar. I mean, some people have it, some people don't. Now, I saw going on my way to see them as much as I can whenever they played in New York. They used to play in places out of state. Originally, they were a DC band, then they relocated here. And they took a breath, and then they ended up. I think that, and then most of them were living at 171A, This was like the premier rehearsal studio on the Lower East Side. That was run by Jerry Williams. Yeah. Now I made my business to learn about all these songs, other songs that they had. Actually, at one time I went to CBGB's with a tape recorder and recorded 2 sets that they played. I'm hearing the rain outside. Yeah, rain comes and goes over here. Ouch, I just hurt myself. Just kidding. Alright. I think one time they played Danceteria. I think it was like somewhere like a penny to 5 cents to get in. You know, they would play with sometimes they would play with some pretty obscure bands that were opening up for them. Like this one band called the Aesthetics. Wow, it's just what before a lot of the more like a lot of bands that are closer to the hardcore scene started opening up for them. I think about it, if Bad Brains weren't around, a lot of bands today would not even exist. Not only here in New York, but in DC as well, and so many other places. Everybody knows who they are, so I'm not really gonna go and get into a whole list of that. I mean, they drew a lot of people. They brought a lot of people together. I'll tell you. They gave people. They shattered the box. I'm sure you know I'm sure that they dealt with some haters, but along the way. But I'm not about to get into that either. So, but when they came out with the Raw cassette, which I feel is still untouchable, I think that was the recording that did it for them, that broke them through. I remember at one time, people did not own cassette players were going out of their way to get one just to have this cassette in their possession. And they got to have all those songs recorded. I remember they were working on their next recording. It was supposed to be like something like an 8 to 9 song recording, with Destroy Babylon, Coptic Times, Joshua Song, I and I Survive. And it's supposed to have a Riot Squad, At the Movies, We Will Not. I think maybe a couple of other reggae songs that they never recorded. Yeah, don't mind the idle banter in the background. Got visitors here. That was supposed to be a second album EP. I don't know, but the next thing that materialized was the Destroy Babylon 12-inch EP that they put out themselves. My theory is I think they were saving those songs for a full-length release, full-length receipt. release. Oh, what am I doing? What am I thinking? Because they went on an East Coast tour, and then they toured the rest of the United States. If they came back from tour, they wanted to become this all reggae band called Zion Train. They were going to change their style. A lot of people got disappointed, even me. I remember, and around that time they were scheduled to play on the back of a flatbed truck, the pop parade that used to roll down University Play. I'm not sure. I think it was Fifth Avenue, going into Washington Square Park. And from my understanding, the day before, some of their equipment got stolen. I think it might have been. I think it was Gary's guitar, but then. And from what I heard, that wasn't even the first time this stuff got stolen. But they were playing. They were supposed to play on the pop parade. Supposedly they had some agreement with the other band. That was there. There's a band called the Phantoms that played. I don't know what became of them. But they were letting them use. I think they were letting them use their drums, but they wouldn't loan the guitar to them. But that's that ain't right. You loan somebody something, but you don't loan the other guy something. That ain't right. I could be wrong about this. Could be the other way around. So this was like fucking 1982. So. That's so. But then then they started doing their farewell shows. They started doing their farewell shows at Irving Plaza. That was supposed to be 2 shows, which ended up being anywhere from 3 to 5 shows between Irving and CBGB's. But Minor Threat played the second night, but that's a story for another time about Minor Threat, so I'm not gonna get into that. And I'm just gonna speed up things a little bit more. So right from there, Bad Brains, but the Bad Brains never went away after that. Rock for Light came out. That's another topic That's another topic I already spoken on. But I'm not going to get into their later releases. I'm just going to talk about their earliest stuff to stay within the original pretext of this video. Bad Brains are a timeless band. They're very timeless. They spread the philosophy of positive mental attitude. Okay, you can talk about, but how you present yourself with it, that's another thing. But anyway, just I even read that book, Think and Grow Rich too. I read it. I read that book too. I reference it every now and then myself. But the whole philosophy was about personal power, spiritual strength, and pushing through oppression. That's why their music still hits today. Okay, so let me see. Anything else I want? Okay, I want to share one story. I remember the Bad Brains were living at once when they were living at 1718. Rackage Records had their store underneath it, and HR used to be hanging out down there. He would have a big bag of weed with him, and what was hanging out there, he would let anybody roll a joint from that weed, and let them smoke it. That's when I used to smoke back then, but I don't do that no more. I had to stop doing that shit when I had a real job with CDL. So anyway, I'm going to end this video very soon. So you can help out this channel by becoming a member. When I do record stuff, you can get them early. Do shout outs and stuff. I mean, do whatever you can to help out this channel. I got other ways of helping the channel in the description box below, where you can send money through PayPal, buy a shirt that I have, and also go to Amazon to buy my book, Punk Rock Revolution. And other things I have listed down there, like Patreon. And many other descriptions in the description box below you can do to help out the channel. Well, if you like what you saw, please smash that like button. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Please feel free to comment, share this video with your friends, family, etc. This shows the YouTube algorithm that this helps. This helps out what the video is about. So we'll try to get another video this week. We'll have some shorts, some shorts coming in throughout the next few days. But again, I want to thank you again for watching. See you next time, and we will try to we're still it's a work in progress what we're doing over here, so get all these bugs out of the system. But I want to say thank you again for watching. See you next time.